Well, hi everybody. Hi Penny. You are new here. How about that? Okay, I'm just getting set up, Penny. Just give me 1 second here. I'm getting sorted out. We're going to do a project today, Penny, that we started last week. Okay, I can't see much yet. Give me just a few minutes. I'm going to have to rearrange here. This does not work. There we go. Penny, I don't know if you're aware, but I have a new Facebook group. It's called This, That, and Chat, Journals, Mixed Media, and More. And in my Sunday Lives, I started last week on a project where we're going to do this totally junk journal. And I'll show you my last week's page. This is our last week's page, and it's all done from junk mail and our scrap box and things like that. So if you want to play today, you're going to need some junk mail and let me see where's my list. I have a list. Nope, that's something different. I've lost my list. Oh dear. Well, it's posted in last Sunday's on last Sunday's live if you want to play, but you need junk mail, a glue stick, some scissors, maybe some magazines and things. We're going to use a needle and thread today. Things that you should have. Okay. Hi, Lisa. Almost forgot. Wow. Not good, Lisa. I forget stuff all the time, so it's not a big deal. I was just telling Penny about the project we started last week. And if, Lisa, you don't, or Penny, sorry, guys. This is one of those things where each week is going to be sort of independent. It builds, yes. But if you didn't do last week's project, it's not a big deal. Good morning, Ruby. Posting. Oh, thank you, Lisa. I appreciate it. Hi, Mindy. Guys, I'm going to do a couple of little things before we start on our project so everybody can get here. First off, again, I have the new Facebook group. And the group is called, I got a napkin too. That's why. It's in there on purpose. Duh. The group is called This, That, and Chat, Journals, Mixed Media, and More. And hi, Sherry. It's just where we can communicate some of and show off our projects. We're working in my lives on this project called totallyjunkjunkjournal, and I did use a hashtag just because, for the fun of it. And it's supposed to be a fun project, and it's supposed to be for those, especially for those who don't have a lot of supplies. Junk mail, some magazines, maybe a scrap box, scissors, glue sticks, that kind of thing. It's going to be things that but at the same time, you can do more with it if you want to. Last week, Friday, I posted a video about the napkin swap that we're going to get started doing, and I put a date that's real far out. Hi, Mary. So that everybody can join in, especially those out of the United States, because holidays are going to mess up mail and that kind of thing. Hi, Sharon. So then I think it was Mindy. I mentioned the other day that we had been to the thrift stores. And I do have a thrift store haul video for next week. I just haven't gotten it edited yet. You know how that goes. I had trouble with the camera, that kind of thing. And if I missed anybody saying hi, make sure that you holler at me so I can watch again. But sometimes that chat goes by so fast I don't see it all. Anyways, I think it was Mindy said I should show this book off. I've been looking for one of the Abandoned Places books, but I haven't been wanting to go to the bookstore for fear I'll spend way too much money. So we were in the thrift store the other day, and I paid 75 cents for this one. And now Jeff's still reading it, believe it or not. He's really enjoying this one, but it's got some really nice, very abandoned places because it's ghost towns. I'm trying to make sure I've got it in the camera. It's not as nice as the Abandoned Places books in some respects, but it does have an awful lot of that same kind of feel. I love this, the water and everything. But it's also got some really neat images, Victorian type images in it too, so that was a real big plus. I haven't decided yet exactly how I'm going to use it. I'm not sure. I really want to reverse collage it the way Dee Dee and Mary are doing books. I'm thinking more on the order of the way Melissa from Hi Joey. Melissa from the Flock, the Flock. 70 Acre Studio is what her YouTube channel is. 70 Acre Studio. She does these things called creeples, and I don't know that that's what I want to do either, but I may do some collage, but I may take the pages out of the book. I haven't decided. You know how that goes? And these are not as, some of them aren't as abandoned as others, but many of them are. And I just love some of these little vintage images. This is like a mining image. Well, hello, Susan. Yeah, creepies would be good, but I don't. I have some other. I wonder if they're here. I think they're. Oh dear. I'll be right back. Our neighbors must be going to have a party today. They have a driveway full of big trucks. These are old. These are really pretty old. Let me see if I can find one that's got some finished pages in it. I think this one does. Yeah. These. Oh, I did these probably 5 years ago. Hi, Elise, Elsie. I think it's Elise. And good morning, Barbara. Oh, Jerry got here too. I missed Jerry coming in. Anyway, so I had done these ages and ages and ages ago, and I'm thinking maybe some of this might be good in the abandoned places. So some Tisha Moore, I think is her name. Okay, Elise. Thank you, dear. I think it's Tisha Moore who I was watching when I did those. So I may do something like that in them. Haven't decided. But this book has just got some really nice images in it. I love how you see the mountains through the windows, and this window is right here by the ground, so that's kind of odd too. I guess so the little peoples could see out. Okay, I missed something. What? Tisha Moore had a stroke. Oh my goodness. Well, hello, Lizzie. She's back doing and showing her art again. Okay. See, and I haven't been doing as much. Okay. All right. Well, I knew for a while she kind of dropped off the internet, and I just quit following her so much. But seeing these vintage images here, I think will be. So there's a lot of ways to use this book, and for 75 cents, I couldn't pass it up. See, this is a perfect abandoned places. So you know, of course, I didn't need another book, but I had to have it. It was just one of those things. So it was there. You know how you guys go. It was there. Hi, Becky. Okay, Becky, if you're going to be driving, you be careful, all right? I know you're headed back home today. Elise, there's no rush for it to get in the mail. We have until the 4th. I'm not going to swap the napkins until the 4th. Becky, please be careful. Need one. Yeah, and so was a gigantic dictionary. I've got a thrift store haul video that I did. I just haven't edited it, so I'll get that done. So, and because I wanted to make sure everybody, thank you, Lizzie. I wanted to do something. I wanted to play with something. I had to go out yesterday, and I missed things yesterday, but that was just all I could do. And I didn't need another ink pen. I needed another ink pen like I needed a hole in my head, but we have so many ink pens here that don't work, so I didn't want to use something that didn't work. So I went to the Dollar Tree and I got ink pens, and I want to disassemble this ink pen. Yeah, it writes. The question is if I can get it disassembled. Yep. Okay, so I have disassembled my ink pen, and I'm going to make one of those flat. I think that could go in the recycle bin. Ooh, that may be a new tool. I see a perfect circle maker, guys. It's got a perfect circle on the bottom, and if I get that little tap out, it'll make a perfect circle there. Uh-oh, the 4th of what? Oh, the napkins are due the 4th of January, Mary. I put it after the holidays, and if they're here by the 4th of January, and I'll wait till after the mail comes on the 4th, it's a Thursday, I think it's a Thursday, I will swap things on Thursday night, Friday morning. It'll probably take me till Monday to get all the packages ready to go. So, anyways, I'll have to try to get that thing out, but I see a perfect circle maker right there. So we'll have to save that. I was going to put it in the recycle bin, but probably not. Oh, okay, Lisa. We should not abandon things. Anyways, I want to make one of those flat paper pens. Yes, Penny, the more books the merrier, but you know, I'm beginning to get quite a few. And my sister apparently got books for me from the what she calls the free cycle place, from the dump. Oh, I have something else to show you guys. These are new paper clips I got at the Dollar Tree too, because Lisa's not here. But Lisa, when you see this, copper colored paper clips. So I want to try this paper pen thing. Abandoned places, yes, Oh dear, Lisa's abandoned places. We might have to make creeples in Lisa's abandoned places. I thought about just going and buying the pen insides, but I got 10 pens at the Dollar Tree for $1, so I figured that was going to be inexpensive enough. And I'm going to try, somebody I saw used score tape, so I'm going to try it with the score tape. I would think about 1 inch wide would be enough. And I just took this piece of paper out of my scrap bin, so we'll just see how it works. If it doesn't work, I can always take it out and try again. But I had this idea to put the paper clip halfway in the back of it. Jerry, did you get your page, your first page from last week done? Okay, so I want the paper clip to not be right at the top, so that's kind of my plan on what I'm doing here. It's almost done. Cool, Jerry. What was I going to say? I forgot. Guess it's not real important. I'm just cutting a little tiny nip in there for the tip of the pen to go in. Well, that looks kind of cool. Okay. Now, I cannot tell you who I saw that used the score tape. I'm making a flat pen, Jerry. If you haven't seen them, all of the planner girls are using them. They go in there and they lay in your planner or in your little book, and they lay flat so that you can, okay, where's my pokey tool? So that you can keep them in your book and it doesn't distort your book. No creeples in your studio, Lisa? Oh dear. In your craft space? Trying to get this up. I hope I'm not going to have one of those days. Jerry, you know, last Sunday you were saying how I said something about being so hot. Our air conditioner has not run all morning. It's the first day in forever. I think it's actually 74 degrees in the house. Yeah, Penny, whoever I watched do it, I think I've watched 2 or 3 people do it, and there's all kinds of different ways. So okay, now then, you also want to glue paper. And I'm using this Tombow aqua glue that I use all the time. Uh-oh, I folded it crooked. Don't fold it crooked with score tape on it, guys. That will not work. Okay. That ought to work just right. I think, I hope, maybe. I thought if this works, I might include it in some of my little journal gifts that I'm doing. Was the idea, Jerry. That was sort of my plan. This one is just an experiment. And it's an experiment that's not working very well with this tape today. Okay, I think maybe we'll put some glue under the tape right there. That I just glued the paper clip more. Okay. Uh-oh. Well, I think everybody, it's Ruby, try refreshing. I hate to say this, but I think it might be you. Okay. Now then, we need some more glue. We need lots of glue where the paper clip is. Lay it flat. Okay, it works. Now let's see if the paper clip works. Put the glue back on. Okay, here's my page. And Jerry, this is the idea, is that the pin is flat. Let me see. Oh, let's get my book. Let's get my... So you kind of use it like a bookmark, or it's got a little glue on it. I didn't want to take a chance and get glue on my pages. See, so the paper clip goes on, the pin is in your book, and your book closes flat. Barbara, is so not my idea. Oh dear, Ruby. I hope you're not going to have a whole lot of trouble today. Well, the person I watched did not put a paper clip on theirs, but my thought was, is if it's not got a paper clip, how are you going to put it in your book? You know, I mean, it's just going to stick there. So... I like the paper clip. Now I'll probably do some kind of little decoration on it. Let's see here. What do I got in my scrap bin? Oh, I have some pink paper. I have a flower punch. We have to decorate it, right? have another flower punch. Okay, that one doesn't work so well. Gotta find something to push it back out. Someday, all my punches will get wax papered, but until that time. Oh yeah, it would be perfect for scraps of jelly prints. I just all I had was the I had just had my scrap box, so I just grabbed. Oh, I just tore my flower. Oh dear. Think we'll notice it? Yeah, probably will. It'll make me irritable, so that's what I get for pulling on it too hard. I was just bending the petals up a little bit, giving it some dimension, and I yanked it right off. Okay, there's that. Now I'll put this little guy in there. Well, heck, if I'd have thought, I got some cute little decorations I could have put in the center. I'll have to do it later. They're not at the table. They're clear out. They're clear out in the laundry room. There. So now I have a cute little pin that's decorated, and it goes flat. Flat pins will be hitting the mark. Mary, if they're going to hit the market, I'll bet you that everybody else has already done them. They're all over the planner YouTube girls. And little plastic pouches. What I would really have liked was they make a refill that's only about this long for more expensive pins. And I would, if I had gone to the office supply store, yay, Lisa, you're here. If I had gone to the office supply store, I could have got the little short refills and made this with the little short. Oh, the retail marketplace. Probably, I'm sure they'll be in the craft shows. But I didn't go to the office supply store. I just went to the Dollar Tree, and this will work for now. But the little short ones would then go in my little short envelope books, and they'd be really cute. And see, this one will even fit. This is my fall book, and this one will even fit on my fall book or in my fall book. So I could make one for fall and then put it in this book, which would be cute too. So anyways, so something new. If you guys hadn't seen it, cool. And I showed you something different. How about that? Okay. Lisa, since you're here now, I have to show you these. I don't know if you knew about them, but look at these. Copper paper clips. You're welcome, Mary. Guys, I'm glad that I could show you something. Maybe I'll do an actual video and explain it better. Although you guys have seen it all. But Lisa, I thought of you when I saw those. I had to have them because, of course, I like copper too. That's my favorite. So, all right. The other thing I was going to show you. Ooh, I need those. Oh, Lisa. Dollar Tree. I got them at Dollar Tree. They say they're metallic rose colored, but what they are is copper. So, yeah. Now, let me know, Lisa, if you can't find them. I'll go hunting again. I had to show you these because I was hunting. I want a couple of wallpaper books, and I can't find them. There's only one store in this whole area that has wallpaper books. Everybody else says they're online. They're online. Oh yeah, Mary, I got the ink pens for 10 for $1. I got the paper clips. I went looking for Christmas table scatter, but what they had I didn't like. It was too little. I'll go to the real store. Anyway, so I'm looking for wallpaper books. Oh, Elizabeth, I have some antique paper clips, I swear. Some of them. I don't know how we ended up with, I've got 5 boxes of these. I should have just used one of those. You know, Mary, I've thought about that, but I didn't have any bobby pins, and I didn't think to get bobby pins at the store the other day to try. Ruby, are you, didn't you join my Facebook group? Because, Ruby, I started a new file, and girls, I haven't got your addresses transferred yet because I was gone all day yesterday. Yeah, I'm going to go to Hobby Lobby, not today, of course, but maybe tomorrow. But, Ruby, it's, oh, soft-spoken, hello. It's in the file section of my new Facebook group. But I think it's also in Lisa's group and Becky's group in their files. But if not, send me an email and I'll answer you. Yeah, Mary, the bigger bobby pin would be really good. And you know, they might be really good in these ink pens because the bobby pin would sit beside the pin, right beside the pin shaft, so it would fit in the paper better, maybe. That's an idea too. Anyways, I went to the wallpaper store. Thank you, Mary. And looking for wallpaper books. Unfortunately, the place that everybody says might have had a bunch of wallpaper books was kind of destroyed in the hurricane. So, and it's 3 hours away from me, so I would have had to drive down there, but apparently it's gone. So, I've been back and forth to the only place here in town for the last 3 months, not being able to get any. So, I'm keeping to look. Anyways, it's in there. Sorry to make such a long story. And I turned around, and these were on a spinning rack. It's a Sherwin-Williams store. Yeah, Mary, you're good. Janet's the bomb, but you're very good. And these were so cool, and they made me think of like the abandoned places, although these aren't abandoned, but they looked like little scenes that you could dress up. And I'm quite sure from, they're 4 by 6, so they would make perfect postcards. Aren't they the coolest? I didn't take all of them. I didn't take one of everything, but I'm thinking they would make perfect postcards. I'll have to put something plain on the back, but I just thought these are the coolest thing for postcards. So Sherwin-Williams store, and they were just in a spinny rack, and they are, well, this one's called Door to a Door, but they're for home deck paints. And this one says grand openings. What does this one say? Picture this. So it's, I don't know if the paint is a little different than, It's just colors. It's just the color cards. Like you sometimes get the flyers that are. So guys, I don't want to tell you run to your Sherwin-Williams store for no good reason, but we've spent enough money in Sherwin-Williams that I could have a few of these. This entire house had to be painted inside. I think Jeff used almost 30 gallons of paint, I think, before we got done. So they have my money. I've earned a few postcards. So, okay. I think almost everybody's here that I expected to be here. So I thought maybe we would go ahead and talk about our project. And now Becky can't be here because she's driving. And Janet, I think, popped in late last time. Marcia can't be here because she doesn't get home from church in time. So they'll probably all play later. Irene's not here, but I don't know about what she played later too. So I thought we'd talk about our project and get started on today's project. Does Sherwin-Williams have oops paint? Mary, I don't know. I've never seen oops paint at Sherwin-Williams. I usually go to Lowe's or Home Depot for my oops paint. And I have enough oops paint right now to last a lifetime. The other place, I don't know. Mary, I doubt you have one because it's Hastings is probably not big enough. But we have what's called Restore here. It's for Habitat for Humanity. And they get a lot of contractors paint in. And a lot of times it's partial containers or sometimes, well, actually I happen to know because my uncle works for one of the Restores. Some of the big companies, when they change out their base paints and stuff, they will just donate paint, or they might get from a box store that is redoing their lines and the packaging and stuff. So Restore often has very good prices on partial things of paint too. I mean, I've bought whole gallons of paint in Restore for like $4 and $5 for a whole gallon when I needed to do something that it didn't matter what color it was, or for bases underneath things. Elizabeth, it's not. It's just for fun. It's not just for my group. If you don't want to be part of my group, I don't care. You just play here with us. We're going to start on our junk journal, totally junk journal, Elizabeth. Please join in. Please talk to everybody. It just happens to be that a lot of the girls on this group we kind of get together like this. But please, I hope you don't disappear. Please join in. This is my first 2-page spread, 4 pages basically of our Totally Junk Journal. And I started it, Elizabeth and Penny, because you're just joining in now too. I think Penny and Elizabeth are only two that haven't been around. I started it because I hear a lot from people, oh, I don't have something. They don't have this to make that. So this is all made from junk mail and magazine clippings and a glue stick. And last week I used this one, and I hate this one, but I'm going to use it up. Great, Penny. So we're going to work on our junk journal today. But I wanted to, this is my package to work on. I wanted to tell you to be mindful and watching for some things, and I'm going to show you why. These are envelopes that I want to use in my journal as I go, because I want some writing space. Now, if you don't want writing space, in your journal, that's fine. You don't have to have this. But yes, if Barbara, you could add a junk mail booklet to your thing. And actually, Barbara, what I'm going to do today is we're going to do a pocket. These envelopes have very little writing on them, even though they have the windows in them. They happen to be a color I like. That's why I got so many out. This is security envelopes, so they don't work so well. This one, I love the color of that one. This one's all white, and see, it doesn't have very much writing on it. Now, I happen to like the crinkle in these envelopes when they're in my journal, so that's fine. Now, if you don't like the crinkle, you can find the junk mail envelopes that don't have the windows. But see, this one is plain white, and what happens is when you cut these open, and I just take my scissors, and I like the little tabs, I like the little torn parts, I just take my scissors and open the end like that and just trim off like a 1/16 of an inch piece, and then I have a page. So I'll be putting these in my journal like so as pages, and I happen to like the ragged edges, so I will probably be adding ones with ragged edges. Now that one's a little big. We'll decide later if it's going in that way or not. This one's even bigger. And Becky asked me last week how big our cover is going to be, and I couldn't give her a straight answer because my brain was on overload mode. And guys, I'm sorry, but I was so nervous last week. You know, I've been doing these lives for a while, but last week made me nervous. I hadn't asked you guys to play along with me before, and I guess I thought, I don't know what I thought, but anyways, I was very nervous. So, okay, so those are pages now that I can insert between my other pages wherever I want them, and it gives me writing space. Okay? So watch out for some envelopes that you can use like that. And I want you to watch out for, just a minute, I got it up here somewhere. Okay, there we go. There's one. Oh, here's some more. The other thing is to find some junk mail that is one-sided. See, this junk mail has stuff on one side, but not on the other. Thank you, Mary. I mean, it was just one of those things. I mean, it was just, you know, I was just funny. So, because these pages, when we do our project on the one side, the other side will create a page to write. So you want to keep an eye out for some of that kind of paper too. Okay, this one I scribbled on because there was an address on there that I didn't want to show off to the world. Anyways, I could always decorate just right there. I could put a little design on that side. So keep an eye out for the envelopes and the one-sided pieces so that you can have writing space in your junk journal. Oh, Janet, you're here and we haven't started yet. Yes. Okay, we haven't really started. Janet, I do want you to go back and watch a couple of things at the beginning, so later. Okay, so envelopes, single-sided junk mail, and, okay, where did the rest go? There it is. We're going to need some junk mail that is either in stiff like this, but this isn't going to work real well for my plan unless we put just plain on the other side, which we could, actually that would work real well. Never mind, I got a plan. So some junk mail that has some stability to it. Not real thick, but at least a little stable. Keep an eye out for that. Or, now this is, it's not like cereal box weight. This is the top to my Lipton iced tea. And, hi, Jen. Boy, I'm so excited you guys are all here. This is more like cardstock weight. So we want some junk mail or some. Now this one's a little heavier, but it's still not too bad. This is the top of my. Guys, we go through 2 boxes of this every week, and at least a box of this every week and a half. So it's I have a lot of it. So, but this is white on the back side, and this is plain on the back side, because we're going to do some stuff with this things, and you could use this kind of junk mail, so it's all junk. Okay? Yeah, Janet, I hope that headache is gone. So, let's get started on our project for this week. Our page or our piece of our Totally Junk Journal. And I cheated. I cut up a bunch of my I tore up a bunch of my stuff ahead of time. This is, for those of you who are new, this is security envelopes, just the inside of those security envelopes, like this one. And if you look at security envelopes in your mail, in your junk mail, they are, there's all kinds of patterns, okay? And I just tore up pieces just because that way I was a little more prepared than last time and you didn't have to sit and listen to me tear stuff. I also have torn up book pages, and if you're doing Jerry's Altered Book, you most likely have extra book pages. Okay, Lisa. This happened to come out of my scrap bin, and I don't know that I'm going to use it today, but I stuck it in here because it's cool. I just like the shape of it. I also have been working with, in my little fall book, let me show you. In this one, I've been putting down a dictionary page on every page. Well, it gives me a piece all around it that I couldn't bear to throw away. I don't know why, because I have 500 dictionaries these days, and I got a new one at the thrift store last week. So book page, dictionary pages, which is a book, different values of, I love this one. This one's really cool. These are all security envelopes. So take a look at your security envelopes, because do that. Now, I chose this big, we're going to make a pocket page today. And I chose this particular envelope. You can choose any envelope. You could choose a great big envelope like this one. We're going to make we're in the end, it's going to be folded in half like so, and it's going to create pockets. Oh yeah, Mary, I have some that are blue, but I don't think I've had a red one yet. Oh Janet, I'm glad the headache's gone. And Lisa, I'm glad you're feeling better too. So what we're going to do is do just like we did last week. We're going to, and I put it away. This is my little catalog for gluing stuff on. And now the thing that you want to do is, this is a smaller piece. Last time we did a big layout. Let me get these out of here. We did a great big layout, so using great big pieces was okay. We don't want to use humongous pieces on here today, because if we do, we're going to have this value that's, and this background is all about value. When your eye goes to it, you don't really see an individual piece necessarily. You see that the overall changes of value. It would be kind of like mixing paint and having different paint colors in there. It's about the fact that your eye moves around on the page instead of being stuck in one spot. And frankly, this grabs you pretty hard. I wish I had made that a little bit smaller. So yeah, Mary, I'm sure it is a fun one. So what we're going to do is we are going to glue stick down some pieces to our envelope, and we're going to do it to both sides. Now, last week, Mary left these fabulous edges. They hung out past, and they were rough, and they're very cool. They're awesome. That was to die for, Mary. I love it. But you need to, if you leave them, Mary, which would be really cool, you have to look at the next step and think about it. So that may be something that if you leave them, you might have to do something a little different than what I have in my head. So I'll show you as we go along, but I'm just saying that, Mary, so that you're prepared and have that in your mind. So this has a window. As you can see, it has a window. I'm just going to glue over the window. I'm going to just cover up the whole piece. So we're just going to glue pieces down just like we did last week. And for those of you who didn't watch me last week, Penny and Lizzie, I used the catalog or a magazine for gluing so that I can get my glue clear out to the edges, and then I turn the page. I'll show you here in just a minute. Oh, and I forgot to get something to wipe my fingers off with. I'll have to get out a wet wipe. See, I'm stuck to these already. They're already starting to stick to me. Oh dear. And I did use a card sometimes to push the edges down. And I work at it sort of randomly. I sort of work all over the page at the same time. And for as cool as it is in here, this glue stick is still sticky, so it will not be one on my I really love it list. Okay, so now my page is all sticky, guys. Oh, thank you, Janet. No, this envelope, Mary, I'm leaving closed. This, sorry, I didn't see that faster. This envelope is closed. We're going to decorate both sides of it, or we're going to cover both sides of it first. And see, I just flipped the page, guys. But we're going to the edges closed today. And I have decided that this one is so dramatic. I love it, but it grabs your eye, so I'm going to use pretty small pieces of it. Oh, and I grabbed that one, and not a lot of it has... oh, I've got that word on the very edge. It says exercise. Ha ha ha. For some reason, all of my security envelope stuff is... There we go. Got a little more. Well, hello, Jenny. We just started our project. If you want to play along, we're just using book pages and security envelopes to cover an envelope. And the envelope can be any size that you would like. And we're just using our junk mail today. And that's a string. Okay, I guess I'm going to have a baby wipe. Lisa, no, it's open at the top. It's like so. It's open at the top, but I did not open the sides. I'm just covering up an envelope. And if it's got raggedy edges at the top, that's okay. Actually, I might even make some ragged. No, I won't today. Okay. Ooh, that's sticky. I can never remember when I flip my page. Okay. All right. Next piece. I am doing slightly smaller pieces, Lisa, than I did last time. I think you were here when I said that, though, so. I just love dictionary paper. It's always thin, but yet kind of... Okay, now, that was... I'm getting all my book paper the same direction. That's something I wanted to not do. Okay. Now, I know I tore up more kinds of paper, but they're hiding. Everybody must be working away. Okay. And I think I said that already. I do go in every so often and use my card just to squish down the pages to be sure that I've got it squished down pretty good. And if you miss a spot, It's all right. You don't have to have it. Mary, talking about the red ones. This one's got little envelopes on it. I don't have much of this, but I had this one piece. It's got little tiny envelopes on it. Or houses. Maybe they're houses. This is like when dinner is really good. You're all really quiet, so I know you're having fun working or working hard, one of the two. Oops. Okay, that piece I might just, yep. I just folded that piece around to the back. It was big, so that worked. One of the things I noticed on my envelope is these tabby things are coming up, so I thought I should glue them down. Thought that first and then forgot. So I'm going to glue them down right now so that it'll be dry when I come back here. Okay. And I am working on one of those craft mats so that if it sticks I can just yank it off. I don't have near enough book paper on here to make me happy, so I'm going to work on book paper for a few minutes. Ew, sticky. I go through a lot of catalog pages when I'm gluing stuff like this. Okay. And I know I said I'm using smaller pieces, but sometimes the unexpected long piece or big piece is good too. Oh, I'm almost done with side one. How's everybody else doing? Okay. Okay, we need a little piece right there. And I need 2 little pieces there. Okay, Mary. Yeah, if you use wet glue, you probably want to dry it a little before you turn it over. And guys, I am going to trim around mine before I do the second side. I'll show you in just 1 second. Okay. Wash off my hands. Oh, Lisa, that's fine. And I tore my scraps up ahead of time this time, so and guys, that is one of the things, if you want to do it ahead of time, is to make yourself a little pile like this of security envelopes and book pages, because we are going to use a fair number of those throughout the project. It's partially to make it cohesive and to tie the whole journal together. Even though it's a junk journal, it can have that cohesive underlaying kind of thing. Now, this is what I was talking about. Mary left these beautiful scruffy edges. I guess that's what you would call them, but they're torn, they're raggedy, they're lovely, and I may do a page like that later, but I'm going to trim this today, and because when I go to do my second side, it makes it easier for me to trim it all if I can see where I've got my envelope. So I'm not accidentally trimming. I'm just trimming the excess off. I am not cutting my envelope. Oops, almost. That's okay, Mary. I don't care if you do scruffy edges. I can't wait to see your scruffy edges. So, is that an okay word to call them scruffy? I happen to love the scruffy edges. If I'd have thought of it first, I might have done that. Okay, so we have this really interesting, soft kind of look, and now we're going to do the back side. And remember, this isn't really a backside because this is going to show. It's basically a page, a 2-page spread, but it has an opening between the pages at the top. Hi, Mark. Mark, grab a junk mail envelope and some security envelopes and book pages and cover up your envelope and play along with us. If not, that's okay too. Yeah, Elizabeth, Mary posted a picture of hers in my Facebook group the other day, and it is really cool. Her 2-page spread is really neat with the scruffy edges. course, everyone else's is really neat too. I shouldn't just, that everybody's pages came out fabulous. I was just really, and it was interesting to see how everyone's was a little different. We did basically the same project, but everybody's pages came out different, which I just think that's the best part of this. Well, that one might have been too close to the other one, but oh well. I don't know if you could see that, guys, but this glue, that's what I'm talking about, this glue stick. It comes off in big lumps and it's just icky. I do not like it. Thank you, Janet. Oh, I'm sorry, Elizabeth. It is this, that, and chat. Mixed media, journals, and more. Well, that's all right, Mark. You can just watch and visit with us. And thank you, Janet, for finding it. My question, uh-oh, wait a minute. Okay, Mary, just a minute. Oh, okay. Mary asked me to explain how this is going to be like it's not really going to be a 2-page spread, but it's going to be 2 pages because when we insert this in our book, it's going to be folded in half like so. So there'll be a page here, a page there, a page there, and a page back here, just like this one ended up being 4 pages, because unless you put this right in the middle, it won't be a 2-page spread. Okay? Great, Jen. I'll catch it later. Does that make sense, Mary? Okay, it does. You got it. Okay. Okay. I got a little tiny spot I missed over here. And that's another thing, you know, if you don't want to, you don't have to cover the whole piece of paper. That's totally up to you. Too much. I am going to cover it just because that's what I do. Oh, yeah. Uh-oh, I'm sticking to all my papers again. And I do sometimes put the book pages upside down, backwards, and... yes, for next time, I need you to have 2 pieces of paper that are the same size. 2 pieces of mail that are the same size, but I will put that in the description down below. I haven't decided what I'm going to use yet. This is a little small. I might use these, but whatever it is, I want you to have 2 of them. So if you use like a piece that's copy paper size, like these, you need 2 that are the same size. You could even use 2 envelopes. Let me find the envelopes I opened. You could use 2 envelopes that are the same size. So you could have 2 envelopes, cut them to be the same size, and that would work. So that's the thing. Plus all of the things that you had to have for today. The needle and thread and all of the other supplies that we've started with. But again, I'll put them down below, and I'll put them in on the Facebook group, and a post on the Facebook group. Are you going to have to go, dear? Oh, and guys, I hope you're looking for your big cardboard box, regular old brown cardboard box. And what was the other thing I told you to be on the watch out for? Maybe a cereal box. Oh, a brown paper bag. We definitely want to work on getting that brown paper bag, because I want to do that fairly soon. String or thread, Mary? I'm going to use thread. We need needle and thread. I'll show you in just 1 second as soon as I clean my... Hello, Patricia. As soon as I clean my fingers. Yeah, Mindy, if you can get a grocery bag size, I would like you to have a grocery bag size. If you can't get that one that big, we're not going to use the whole thing at one time, so you could use a lunch bag. Mary, I had several kinds of thread here. This is pearl cotton. This is embroidery floss. This one is actually kind of like a cotton yarn. You could use crochet thread. Anything that has just a little bit of weight to it. And we're going to use that today. And a needle. And hi, Patricia, if you want, you can. We'd be glad to. We're all still busy, so playing along is still. There we go. Okay, this is really strange. Okay, I have to tell you guys what just happened in my mind. Okay, I have this one piece of this. And I was trying to conserve. Okay, this is just a piece of junk mail, and here I am trying to conserve this little tiny piece of paper. Oh dear. Too funny. Uh-huh. Okay, and once again, I don't have enough book page on there, so. Uh-oh. Did you just... Okay. Oh dear, Patricia just woke up. Okay. I had such a mess in this studio. I still have such a mess in the studio. And what's worse is I have made a huge mess in the spare bedroom. I'm moving my fabric out of the spare bedroom closet into my studio. And frankly, it turned into a big, huge mess in the bedroom because I have to go through those boxes. When we moved down here, I was so busy with work that a hot chocolate day, wow, not that cool here, but my boxes of fabric are just dumped together because I went through stuff and I got rid of garbage bags full of fabric and other stuff before we left. Some stuff I'm really not happy that I got rid of, but that's the way it goes. Guys, I'm going to have to excuse myself for just a minute. You keep working, and I'll be back in just a second. Yeah, Mary, it seems like I have to do that every week. Well, that was interesting. There was a loud noise, and all of a sudden I heard a holler, and apparently it was nothing big because Jeff just stood there, looked at me funny, like, okay, why are you looking at me? I think he was yelling at the neighbor's dog, who has a bad habit of coming right to the fence and being very hateful. But I was running across the floor, and I have on socks, which is not normal, and these wood floors are really slippery. I've seen several times, Patricia, that okay, as artists, we do not have a messy house. We have creative piles or something like that. I can't remember what it is. Ruby, if you don't want to cut the flap off the envelope, you do not have to. Mine just happened to be like this. If you want to do it this way with the flap and then this side, go right ahead. That's entirely up to you. It's about doing it in your own style. It's just like Mary's lovely edges, which I'm just jealous of. We just want to do it however you would like to do it. And I'm sorry I didn't catch you quick enough. My envelope just happened to be neat up there for some reason. I don't, partially because my mama saves her envelopes for me. We don't get a lot of stuff in the mail because, well, we do get quite a bit, but not near as much as she does. I don't know exactly why. I think it's because we haven't been here as long. We still get junk mail for the people who lived here 3 years ago. That, and we got a court summons in the mail for them. Yes, 3 days ago we got a court summons in the mail for them. It's like, okay. That means they haven't changed their driver's licenses or any of that stuff if they're doing that. So I'm sorry, Patricia, what sounds better? I'm not sure. I missed something. I'm not sure what you're talking about me. What you're talking about? I'm sorry, that didn't make sense. To me, I missed something somewhere. Okay. When I get that second side done, I'm going to go back and again trim around and take my scruffy edges off, even though I love them. And then when you guys tell me you're ready, we'll go on. So okay. Well, hello, Gloria. Are you going to be able to play with us this afternoon? Oh, yeah, Patricia, it's like to ignore a court summons or I don't know. But then if you had seen what the shape this house was in, you'd understand these people. We looked at worse houses, but that was age of house. This was total lack of hair, and apparently the neighbors had been really good until, I don't know, apparently one of them kind of lost her mind. Because we have neighbors that have been here in the subdivision for years and years and years and years. So, okay, Gloria, you might want to watch the replay for some of the things that I want you to be on the lookout for. What we did today and what we're working on today is we started with just an envelope, a plain junk mail envelope, and you can do whatever size envelope you want. Not that one because it's torn in half, but just an envelope. Now, if you want to do the flap with the flap up like that, and so that it can close, you can do that. That is entirely up to you. Mine was already like this and then just trimmed off at the top so that it's open. That's just the envelope that I grabbed and chose to use today. So right now we're at this stage. You are going to need 2 pieces of junk mail, and I may or may not use a couple of these. I may use a little bit bigger piece. I haven't decided yet. For next week, I said that you could take 2 envelopes, and if you've got 2 junk mail envelopes that are the same size, that works perfectly. If not, you could trim them to be the same size. But you want 2 pieces of paper that are the same size for next week. Okay, sounds good, Lisa. We're not ready for that, but that sounds good. And I have somewhere, okay, there's my piece of paper. These are the things that we're using in our project. These things are things we will use every time. You probably want to have the thick thread and big eye needle, pokey tool all the time too. Today is what we're using the envelope for. You're supposed to be on the lookout for a cereal box, a big corrugated cardboard box. That's right, it is a creative environment, Patricia. And brown paper bag. And Mindy asked me if we were talking about a grocery bag. And yes, if you can find a brown paper grocery bag, that is what I'd really like you to have. But if you can't, any old brown paper bag will work. And if you can't even find that, then I hadn't even thought about that. But we'll come up with something that you could use instead. These are things you're supposed to be on the watch for to find, so that you're ready for next time. Now, next week we want 2 pieces of junk mail, the same size. Oh, other things you're supposed to be on the watch out for is, and political ads might be like that. I think that's what this one is. This one is sort of like corrugated, like cardstock, or packaging that's about the weight of cardstock. I had a couple of things here. These are the boxes off of my lids off my tea. Doesn't have to be huge pieces, but see, these are plain on the back. This one's going to mean we have to put a piece of white paper on the back. So we want some cardstock weight junk mail. Oh, and I said to be on the lookout for some junk mail that is one-sided. This is just, it's got print on this side, but the back side's white. And that way you can have a writing space. Yep, cereal box. Cereal box, big corrugated cardboard box. And I mean pretty good size one. I have one that, now you might have to, the big corrugated box, you might have to run to like the grocery store or someplace like that if you don't get that kind of boxes. Sorry, I lost my cap underneath the thing. But a pretty big box. Oh, the single-sided junk mail. Those are the things to be on the lookout for. Okay, and as everybody is ready, holler ready, okay? I'm just going to leave this sit here until we're all ready. Yes, taking apart the big box, Mary, yes. So if you want to cut down the corners so that you don't have to keep it huge, go right ahead. I think maybe already had some cardboard cut down. Yeah, even you know, those Dollar General in my area. Yes. Yes. So a big flattened box, it can be flattened, Mary, because we're going to cut pieces off of it down the road. And that's why I wanted everybody to have time to find it. I was afraid that if I said you need a cardboard box for next week, it might be harder to get. I mean, I don't get a big cardboard box here all the time. So Mary's ready. Who else is ready? Oh, thank you. Hi, Kendra. Have you been here all along? I'm so sorry. I missed seeing you come in. I think cookie butter is... Mark. Sometimes. Yes, cookie butter probably would be. Okay. Mary's ready. Jerry's ready. Hi, Kendra. I didn't see you come in, and I'm sorry I didn't see you come in. Elisa's ready. Okay. Sounds good, Kendra. Like I told Jerry, she was working on her first pages. I'll show you my first page, Kendra. I don't know if you watched last week. These are my first pages. And this was one big sheet of junk mail. I just took this. It was a bigger sheet than this. I just took a big sheet of junk mail, and I did exactly what we did to this envelope, in that I covered it up with security envelopes and book pages. And we're going to be using that sort of a background every week. So, now, I don't know. For some reason, that did not glue down real good on the corners. That's all right. But then we did some different kinds of layering to get sort of a collage glue book kind of thing. I've been watching, I watch a lot of Caged Fish, Mags Lockley. I just love watching when she does an index card. I just love watching Mags. And I'm trying to think, oh, Nick, the Booksmith, does some really cool things. And Nick's got a challenge going right now, guys. You might want to check into it. It's an interesting challenge. So Mary's ready, and and Elisa's ready, and Jerry's ready. Who else is playing? Because I'm not sure who all is. Gloria, I'm not cutting anything down. Or are you talking about the box? If you're talking about that great big box, I can't tell you because it all depends on which pieces of junk mail you use in the end. So don't cut it down except to just flatten it out and or cut it at the seams. I mean, that's all I would say is if you're talking about your big cardboard box. Lisa's back, so she's got her thread. She must be ready. But, and Becky asked me last week, Becky asked me about size of the cover and what size the cover would be. And I can't tell her because everybody's using different junk mail. Yeah, it's kind of a mystery. It's a totally junk journal, and it's kind of a mystery because I'm not telling you what you're going to do ahead of time. But I want papers in my journal to write on, so some of the pages will have that. If you don't want that, then you don't have that. But as you can see, these pages are going to be bigger than this page. So, and if you use this size paper to do next week's project instead of this size paper, it's going to come out different. If you used, let me see here, this size envelope today instead of this size envelope, well, it's not going to come out much different, but it's still going to come out different. So everybody's cover is going to be just a little different. So I can't really answer that question. I just told you to get a big box. Okay. That was that answer. I've got several people ready. So Patricia, yeah, it's a totally junk journal, but it's also a mystery. So is anybody else playing along? I only have like 3 people that I'm sure are ready. And the other thing is, Patricia, I have 5 more weeks planned out. And that may be enough. We'll have to look and see how it looks when we get that far. And one of those weeks is the cover. So it'll depend on how long everybody wants to play with this and how, much fun you're having, because I can come up with more ideas too. So that's another part of it. It's really a mystery. Okay, I think we're going to go ahead and go on. I'm not sure who all's playing, and I'm not sure who all's still here. So we're going to go on to the next part of this one. Now, last week I had you lay down some color, and then we did these fun little windowy things. This week our color is going to be put down in kind of a fun way, and you can use whatever you want for color. Oh dear, my box is too heavy. I'm going to use magazine pages because, just like I told you last time, my deal is to teach everybody that they don't have to have a lot of stuff to play this game. So, but this week's color is going to actually be the shaped thing. Well, Mary, that is if my brain works long enough. So what we're going to do today, and frankly, if you have circle punches, you are allowed to use them. I'm not telling you you can't. But a lot of people wouldn't have a circle punch. So I am going to cut my circles freehand, and they don't have to be circles. Oh, I'm sorry, I shouldn't have said it that way. They do not have to be circles, guys. They could be little squares, okay? I'm cutting this off because that makes it easier for me to fold. I'm going to cut mine in circles today, but if you wanted to cut squares, you could cut squares. I just fold my pieces in. Okay, I should have done that bigger. I fold it in half again, and then I fold it one bottom corner, so it's like a little triangle, because then when I cut my circle, and you can use painty paper, you can use stuff out of your scrap box. Okay. So that is what I am going to cut today, and I don't like that one because I don't like this white stuff. So I'm going to start over again and cut it with all color. And so what we're doing is we're just adding some color to our little page, and we're doing it with a shape. So it could be circles, it could be squares. If you want to use a punch, you can. You're allowed. I don't care. One of the things I'm going to do is I'm going to put some of these circles where they go around the bottom. Now be careful. Make sure your top is at the top. Your opening is at the top. But I'm just going to add these little circles. And like I said, some of them I'm going to put as edges. And I'm not going to put a ton of them on there. I'm just going to put a few on there, just enough to add some colors. And they don't have to be all the same size. This is a small page, and remember, your page is actually half of this. So you want to think about that as you're adding things, as you're adding your items. Yeah, Patricia, if you want to play along later, last week's has last week's live chat has the beginning sort of instructions, and it's one of those things where you don't have to, I mean, if you don't do that page, oh well, you didn't do that page. It's not a big issue. Now I do kind of want to look for colors that kind of belong together. I don't want to be, I got this piece of purple out, but I don't think I like it with the reds and the browns, so. Well, Mary, I'm glad you're having fun. I hope everybody's having fun. Everybody seemed to have fun last week. Ah, okay. That's right. I thought I saw it, didn't I? Didn't you post it, Patricia? Okay. Janet gave you the heads up. Good. Ruby. That was for Ruby. Oh, see, now that one doesn't look like much of a circle. Sometimes my ability to cut a circle is not always great, so. But there's another part of it. If If it's not perfect, that's okay too. And this is, you know, a junk journal. However, I have to stick my tongue out just right. Patricia, that is silly. I promise you that's silly. I'm sure it is beautiful. Now, if your circles can overlap, they can be some big, some small. They can all be the same size. Does not matter. They go on their own way. You just want to do yourself a favor and leave a little bit of space on your page so that you have room for a focal image. And I guess I didn't think about how time consuming cutting all these circles out was going to be. I hope you guys aren't getting bored. And my circles are more like ovals for some reason today. Usually I can cut a halfway decent circle. Today they're all kind of ovally. Now another thing is that when I fold these, as I'm folding up these pieces of magazine paper, when I unfold them, there's some interesting texture happening. The crease lines are getting... Oh, that's awesome, Mary. We had a bunch of people come over to watch that I know had totally not bored. Okay, good, Jerry. I'm so glad. Mary, because of your shout out, I know that we had a bunch of people that came to see what was going on. So I can't thank you enough for the shout out. Okay, so that's kind of, I'm going to have a few more on there, but that's kind of my idea of where I'm going. And I'm glad, Jerry. Awesome, Jerry. That'll be cool. I know what you mean, Jerry. This is my fun time. And unfortunately, it's been a busy week. I didn't get to play yesterday because I had a meeting. And I guess that's play. It's a book group that, a handmade book group that I belong to. But I don't know. Yesterday I just didn't. It wasn't as fun as sometimes. Okay, I don't like those. I don't like the words on that. So sometimes when I'm after just color, having words show up is not always helpful. It's not a bad thing if that's what you want, but for me it's distracting. I'm going to see if I can cut two at the same time. Let me see what's going on here. Oh, thank you, Elise. Taking notes and not more. Okay. Okay, wait, I missed something in chat. I know I did because it just went by so fast. That's great, Jerry. Thank you. Awesome, Gloria. I'm glad you're here. Jerry, that was the thing is I honestly yesterday's meeting, it's one I normally enjoy, but I would have rather been home playing with you guys than yesterday. It just was one of those days. So the problem is you guys Zoom on a day when I have something specific that for the month kind of thing. It's one of those. I need something different in the way of color. Oh dear. Oh, I may have to use this chicken. Oh. Well, guys, you know what? It's really interesting that I have a huge box full of stuff and I don't have anything that I want. Oh, Joey, that's a good thing. Reward. Yeah, and I made a commitment to it ages ago, but it's one of those things that I'm thinking that I may have to rethink. For one, used to be, I had 2 meetings on the same Saturday. So I went to one in the morning and then one in the afternoon. Well, they've switched it where we have them on separate weekends, and I just don't, it just, it's not conducive to my life. So okay, Mary, that sounds good. Too bad could have 2 days from one. Yeah, it just, and it's, the other thing is, and it's not that far, believe me, after living in South Dakota, to drive 45 minutes is not that far. But, it's not here in town, it's over in another town, and I have to drive over there. So now I'm driving over there twice a month, and that's just, it's just not, I don't know. It wastes 2 hours of my day because I'm driving back and forth. And yesterday the traffic was terrible. Of course, we have a lot of people that are here that have been displaced by the storm. They can't stay in their homes. They have no electricity. They have no water. They have no sewer. All that stuff. So Pensacola is full of a lot of people that aren't normally here. So that's a big part of the traffic. Mary, honey, you can add whatever you would like. We're going to add an image here in a few minutes, too. And I'm going to work on one side, and then I'm going to switch over and work on the other side because, I think I'm going to put this one around here. Okay, I think I'm going to glue my little circles down. Maybe you need one more. You can add anything you want. But I am going to add a focal point image here in a minute. So I glued that one down. I need to break my Inktense pencils out, Mary. I got them for myself ages and ages ago and have barely used them. Mary, before you add your Inktense, you might want to, I think it'll still be fine. It will be whatever you want to do, Mary. Uh-oh. Oh, okay. That's fine, Mary. That works good. Uh-oh, what do we... Janet, Mary, somebody? I think we have a troll. Thanks, guys. Thank you, Lisa. Okay, Jen, sounds good. Thanks, Lisa, for taking care of our troll. I don't know why people just, I don't know. People are just, people. Sometimes I wonder if they just don't have anything to do with their time. That's what I wonder. I'm looking for time so that I can do the things I want to do, and sometimes people just do strange things with their time. Elizabeth, are you still watching? I'm just wondering. I haven't seen you in a while. I hope you're making a journal. That'd be cool. Okay, now I am going to, now I've only done one side. But I'm going to find a focal image. Yep, they have nothing better to do. Lisa got it. Now, Ruby, if you're ready, do your other side too. But I'm going to go on and do my, I'm just going to put that like that. I'm going to go on and do my focal images so you guys can see what I'm planning for that. But I have to get a drink first because my throat's getting dry. Okay. Just like last week, we added some little focal images to our pieces. So we need to have some kind of little focal points. Is that what this is? No, that's my color folder. Oh, yeah. I thought I was so well organized, and here I have a big old mess. These are some of my focal points that I have cut out ahead of time, and I might use something out of here, or I might find something else to use. Oh, that might be fun. I have a few of these. And remember that you're making 4 little pages, so I can sit this like right there maybe. Uh-oh, this lady, this just turned into a lady with hair. Did you see that, guys? I just turned that piece into a focal point. She's gonna have eyes and a mouth right there. As a matter of fact, we'll just make her eyes and a mouth right now so y'all can see it. It's kind of like a little snowman. Okay, and then I don't know about over here. These may be too boring for over there. We may do a shoe page. Let's do a shoe page. Aha, there was a shoe. There was a boot in here. There's a boot and a shoe. Okay, that's what I've got for this page. Okay, I missed it. Oh, okay. Frida, okay. Oh, I see what you, yes, yes. Oh, fun. Okay, let's see. I think that shoe will stand right there, and this boot can go right there. Or maybe just use the shoe. I just like the shoe. Now remember, guys, you can add words later, and I have not added words to mine because I just didn't get it done. That's the deal. I didn't get it done, and I'm kind of behind work-wise. It's a good thing, but I'm just behind work-wise. I've been doing a big fundraiser and with my beads and my bead group, and so it's been a good couple of weeks with that, so that means that I've been very busy with work instead of fun work. So now we're going to do both sides. So y'all let me know when both sides are ready. And I don't know why this baby wipe is not even wet anymore. They get dry so fast. Uh-oh. Oh, Emily says you actually have one. Cool. Last week when I got the other pages done, I went around them with my marker. I went around my, and that one's just not really thick enough. And Mary, I have not been to Walmart. I want to go to Walmart, see about trying some of those pins that you use. I try to avoid Walmart, so I have not been there. Going around your focal points just kind of makes them stand out. This is kind of a busy background. And because I turned this lady into a focal point, I'm probably going to go around her. Parts and pieces. You do want to be careful with marker on top of magazine pages, because if you're not, then the magazine page, the type of marker, if sometimes when you move your hand across it, it's what I'm trying to say, it will smear, even though it's a permanent marker, because Sharpies will do that in a hurry. So I hope my head's not in the way. My outlining skills some days are not as good as others too. Okay. Now, remember, this is going to be a folded page like so. And that got very stiff. So you may have to use a bone folder to get it flattened out. Now guys, until you tell me you're ready, and have one side finished the way you want to finish it, I'm going to work on my second side. Now when you tell me you're ready, I'll show you the last thing I want to do. Oh, I was thinking about using that image. Okay, I'm going to cut this out while I'm waiting to. It would be easier if I didn't have all that on there. It's so funny. Sometimes the chat goes by so fast I can't tell what's going on, and then you must get all really busy because all of a sudden there's nobody there chatting. Patricia, I like the stiffness of the pages too. Gluing your focal images. The I was real surprised last week when all I had was a piece of basic, you know, it was a piece of junk mail that was copy paper weight. And by the time I glued everything to both sides, I had a thick cardstock weight. Okay, sounds good, guys. I need to do some fussy cutting, I can tell. I told y'all last week I don't really like to fussy cut my images ahead of time when I'm working by myself. Just because I find them easier to go through when they're not in little pieces. That's just me. I like to cut stuff out when I'm watching YouTube or something like that. I can't do it when I watch TV because it's not bright enough in there. I need light. And I don't watch that much TV. So we watch movies sometimes, but when I'm watching a movie, I want to watch some movie, so there we go. And not only that, I have the rooster and a white image just like him, so I might do that kind of thing where he has a sort of a shadow behind him, like so. Hi, Eva. I didn't see you come in. Well, Eva, if I'll catch you up real quick, if you want to play, we used a junk mail envelope and we covered it with our book pages and security envelopes, just like we did our big page last week. So, and then I'll let you know what's next if you want to play. I'm going to put color down, and I'm just sort of waiting for everybody to be ready, and then I'm going to go on to the next kind of a step. So Janet, are you playing along or just watching and doing something else? Okay. And Eva, I already told everybody what we needed for next week. Where did it go? This is our supplies that we're working with. For next week, you need 2 pieces of junk mail that are the same size, whether it's 2 envelopes, two DVD thingies. They both have to be the same size, and I may use envelopes. I may use 2 envelopes to the same size. And then we're watching out for cereal boxes, a cereal box, a big corrugated cardboard box. By big, I mean big. You can fold it down. It doesn't have to be in the shape of a box. A big brown paper bag, like a grocery store bag if you can find one. Cardstock weight junk mail, and single-sided junk mail, so that you can have some writing paper. So those are things to keep an eye out for. And I'm going to put that in the description box down here, and I'll put a post on the Facebook page too, so that everybody has a place to look for it. Okay, good, Eva. And anybody who wasn't here early on in the stream, I did talk about using plain junk mail envelopes. Let me find my page. It just went away again. There we go. Plain junk mail envelopes like these for plain paper in your junk journal. The green wash is turning gold. Well, of course, Mary. If it's for you, it's got to turn gold. But you want some pages to be able to write on in your journal, so that's the reason for the plain envelopes. Yeah, Janet, it's like it sounded like she was shocked it was happening, and it's like, if it's Mary's, it's gonna turn gold. I'm surprised she was shocked at that. The gold fairy. Mary has gold fingers. Well, heck, that doesn't want to stick at all. There we go. Surely that's going to stick now. Yeah, it's going to stick all over everywhere to me. There we go. I like my little chicken. Magic ink tints. I just about put my drink my bottle cap on my glue. My drink bottle cap on my glue. Oh, good. Yep, for colors we're making circles, or you can use squares. And I told everybody, Eva, that they could use a paper punch, but one of the reasons I'm doing this particular project is because I've heard so many people say I don't have. So I'm doing it so that everybody can everybody has junk mail. Well, I don't know. Becky said they don't get any junk mail. But I'm cutting it by hand because that way everybody can do that. Well, Mary, yeah. I'm like Lisa is, though. I prefer copper. I have, for some reason, always liked copper, and so Becky's not here, Eva, because she's on her road back home, I think. Or she might be here, but you know, we don't get a ton of junk mail. We get some, but my mother gets so much junk mail. It's unreal. Yeah, Mary Lisa and I like we're just those coppery girls. Maybe because we have more pennies than we do gold coins. How about that? Oh, I have to tell y'all something. I don't know if you guys watch ZC Creations, but Janet and I were both very lucky last night, and we won gifts from Marcia. And I can't say thank you enough to Marcia for the thought of just for the thought of it. And the other thing is that yesterday I won a $10 gift card for one of my favorite thrift stores. So yesterday was an awesome day for me. Even though I had to go to that silly meeting. Yeah. If you haven't watched Marcia's channel, it's really nice. I enjoy watching her videos. Oh, yeah, Eva, that's probably true. My mother's just been in the same house for, 50 years, so, maybe, I don't know. My son's going to be 30. No, I don't think 50. But she's just been in the same house for a lot of years, and I think that's why she gets so much. Yeah, Janet, we won. It was just, I was like, okay, awesome. Golly. And she was so careful to make sure she couldn't see the names. It was really cute. Oh, yeah, that's all right. Lisa, Mary, let me know when you're ready. I'm just playing here with the second side until y'all are ready. we're going to use my lady with the red dress, so I can choose one or the other of them. I think that one. But yeah, Eva, our color is just being put on in shapes, either circles or squares. I made it something I could cut reasonably easy because our not having a lot of options. Okay, perfect. Oh, and Mary taught me something last time. I think it was Mary or Lisa, that if you get glue and it's, out on your page, you can wipe it off with your baby wipe. I usually just let it get dry. And I'm using a marker on these pages, but one of my favorite tools to use are these aquarellable. These are called Stabilo All pencils, and they're water soluble, but they're permanent. They're like an Inktense pencil. So, because watercolor pencils are not necessarily permanent, Inktense makes a permanent water soluble pencil, and these Stabilo pencils are also water soluble and permanent once they dry, and they make fun kind of grungy look to your things. I used a permanent marker on the first page, so that's what I'm using. Oh well. Yeah, Lisa, I love my Stabilos. And Eva, yeah, it can be a challenge. That's why they make paper punches. I guess I can't draw with and talk at the same time. Now you could go around all of your little circles too, if you so desire. It is your page, not mine. And this is going to be like a little pocket. Okay, when I get it in our book, it will be a pocket. And a lot of times you take your paper punch, this one will work, and you put it in here and you punch out a little piece of a circle, and then it makes it easier. And so eventually I will probably, what do I have that's actually a real circle, because I don't want to do that freehand, but I want to cut it. So I have a little it's the innards to a tape thing. So I'm gonna kind of find the middle and use a pencil. Yes, they put a color on their page, and it's their page, so they can do whatever they want. They could use scrapbook paper to put their backgrounds on. But because I'm not using any punches, I'm going to draw that on there like that, and then cut it out so that it's if I didn't have any tools at all, a circle punch would be the one thing that I think, well, maybe, I don't know. Okay. Yep, there we go. Now we have little cutouts in our... Yep, Janet, it's right. It's personal choice. Oh dear, I'm spinning, guys. Uh-oh. Come on. I got 27 people watching, and my stream just kind of went bonkers. Can you guys see me? Okay. All right. That's good. Okay. As long as I'm not spinning for you, that's what matters. If it sits there and spins, okay. This, Janet, it's, okay, we went somewhere we had to go. We were looking for a restaurant, and all we could really find that day was a sports bar, and our silverware came in this little bag. And I liked the chicken, so I kept the little bag. So that's why. That's what that is. So, are we ready to go on to the next thing, the next part of this? We now have, now I've got my images on both sides. If you don't have your images on both sides, they can be put on later. Okay, Lizzie, you're still here. Yay! I'm glad, Lizzie, you're here. Are you playing along? Okay, Lisa's ready. If I enlarge the screen, I lose chat. Huh. Mary's ready. I think Ruby was ready. Okay. You guys, because my screen is spinning, so if you guys lose me, Elisa's ready. Okay, hi, LL Creations. Can you give me a name to go? Okay, Linda. Okay, great, Linda. We're working on a Totally Junk Journal, and I hope you can maybe join us in another time. Cool. Lizzie, I'm glad you're listening. Okay, Jerry's ready. Okay, well, we're going to go on then. I got a bunch of you ready, and like I said, if you haven't finished your images or drawing around your images or any of that, that's okay, because the next part you can go back and do it. I told you last time you needed a pokey tool. Well, I didn't think to tell you, you might want to have something that you can poke on. So, because your desk is not a good thing to poke holes in. And I also told you you could use a tiny punch. And I didn't hunt up my punch. I'm just going to use my pokey tool. And I didn't think, but you could use maybe your... I use this when I'm punching holes for signatures. This is a phone book. So that might help. That's totally up to you what you use to poke on, and you don't necessarily have to have something to poke on, because sometimes I just have to hold it up. But and I'm going to draw on this. I wouldn't normally draw on it, but I'm going to draw on it so you can have an idea of what I'm talking about. I want you to poke holes about 1/4 of an inch. This is the top, the open part, and we're going to go around the 3 sides of our envelope. And I want you to poke holes about 1/4 of an inch in and about 1/4 of an inch apart. Now you don't need to draw them if you don't want to, because... Okay, Lisa. And Linda, I'm so glad you're here. We started this project last Sunday, and it's one of those projects where you can, do it later, come and go. We're making a totally junk journal. We're using junk mail. Okay, guys, so that's the idea, and I'm not going to draw around the whole thing. I'm going to start poking my holes. But Linda, we're using our junk mail, and everybody has options. You can do what you want, but I am doing this for someone who doesn't have a lot of tools, a lot of things. If you don't have a pokey tool, a big thick needle will work. You do have to have something that you can poke holes with, and this happens to be the pokey tool I have. Oh, I have an ice pick. I used to use the ice pick all the time, and it would work. And this is thick, guys, so it's going to take some work to poke your holes, and you want to be careful. And I think maybe this might be a better choice. This gets thick when you start adding all that paper to it. Because there's in some places there's 4 and 5 layers of paper to this envelope. So I have a 1/16 inch hole punch, and that would have worked. Oh, Linda, I started the project last week in my live stream last week, which it's listed. I told everybody about the supplies you need. Well, I punched the holes. I'll see if I can put the supplies right there. My problem is, guys, I can't see what you can see now for some reason. Give me a second. I'll be right there. Okay, I'm just gonna watch it over here. I don't know why on my normal board. Let me try again. I'm gonna try something else. For some reason on one page I'm just spinning, and I can't see what you're seeing. All right, that works. That's interesting. On my Jerry, you were supposed to have a thick thread and a needle with a big eye. We're going to put an edge around this page. Oh, Janet, thank you so much for posting that for Linda. Yes, and we're going to go 3 sides, Lisa. I'm not doing the top. Now, if you want to do the top, you know me. This, Lisa, Linda, is the list of things you have to have all the time. This was the list for today. You need 2 pieces of junk mail the same size next time. This list over here is stuff that you're supposed to be hunting in the next little while. Boy, these holes are hard to make. So be careful, guys. Don't poke yourselves. No poking of people. Okay, that's easier. Guys, if you don't have a phone book, an old magazine would work. If you put the hole right over the gutter, it's a lot easier to poke the hole, and then your fingers are not behind there. Oh yeah, way easier. We learn something new every day. And I'm working on, Nick the Booksmith has a journal challenge right now. It's really fun. I'm working on that project. You only have 8 items that you get to use to make your journal. And I'm doing a process video. Okay, wait a minute, I missed things. Jerry, we're going to go around this edge. We're going to actually stitch around this edge in these holes. Oh, you asked me what the hole's for. I was trying to, if you wanted to know what the needle was for. Okay, give me just a second, guys, to catch up. Anyways, Nick has put out this challenge for a journal, and I am working on it, and I am doing a process video. Plus, I'm going to do a flip but I had this idea to do this on part of the journal. But I don't have a pokey tool, so I'm having to use my needle to poke holes. And my hand was just so sore yesterday afternoon. I finally quit. I was like, oh my gosh, I can't do this anymore. Okay. Boy, I made a bunch of holes in my phone book. I'm still looking for a big phone book. Do you know phone books are hard to come by these days? Now then, I had thread a few minutes ago. I put it all back. Okay. And this is a good place to use up your scrap little pieces. And I thought I had a smaller little ball in there. I did. Which is what I'm going to start with. You want a nice, good sized needle. I usually use one that does not have a point on it. This is, they call these tapestry or needlepoint needles. This one they called a plastic canvas needle. It's bigger. Okay. Now, one of the things, if you don't sew, I will tell you, getting too much thread can be a real bother. However, I don't want to have not enough thread to go around, because I don't want to have to tie a knot in the middle somewhere here. So I'm going to give myself more thread than I normally would. And there's one of those and two of those. I'm going to give myself twice the distance around. So if I go like this, 1, 2, and then I go 1, 2, 1, 2, and then I need a little extra. I should have enough to go around. I might have too much. Yes, Janet, you would be allowed to use your sewing machine. That would be fine if you want. Now, I'm not going to do just straight up and down. I am going to go around the edges. It's a decorative thing. But of course you're allowed to use it. You can do whatever you want. They're your pages. And there again, Janet, I wanted to do it as much as I could with as few supplies as possible. Okay, so Tanya's having trouble threading a needle, which is not normal. There we go. Anyways, I was working on this challenge journal for Nick yesterday, and because I don't have a pokey tool to use in my challenge, I needed a sharp needle, and I needed a big sharp needle. Do you know I looked for 2 hours? I don't use a big sharp needle. So no, Patricia, I'm actually going to do it twice so that we get a cross stitch. Oh, I'm going to go all the way around once, and then I'm going to go all the way around the second time. Yes, Janet, use a zigzag stitch, and that way I'll look at it. Yes, Jerry, this envelope is being folded in half just like so, and therefore I have my little pocket here and my little pocket here. And Patricia, you could do a blanket stitch. That would be fine. And I'll tell you, Becky did a really good video on blanket stitch with her video she did for the, oh, what was that silly thing, guys? She did a video for a little hedgehog pincushion. You can, yep. No, I'm, okay, Mary's doing a running stitch. There you go. See, I don't care. I'm going to tuck this end down in my envelope, just like so, and I'm going to push it into the corner, because then it will catch the end and tie it sort of into place as I'm stitching. And then I'm just going to start, and I'm going to bring it around, and I'm going to put this needle down through the hole each time. And I'm doing it kind of backwards, because normally I would bring it up through the hole, but I poked the holes from top to bottom so that they're kind of they kind of go that way all by them little lonesome. You know what? I changed my mind. I'm going to pull my end out. I just had an idea, okay? So I'm going to pull my end out. I thought I was going to. Oh, needle. Oh, I guess I'm not. There we go. All right, I want a longer tail, so give myself some room. I just had an idea, so I'm giving myself like a 6-inch tail. I have plenty of thread to do that. So I'm just gonna sew all the way around, guys, to the other side, and then I'm gonna get a new piece of thread. And I also found out that sewing on camera is very difficult because I can't get it held the way I want so you could still see it. Okay, I'm missing chat. I'm not paying any attention. Oh yeah, Jerry, I just am going to make dangles. Thank you, Janet. Oh, that would be cool, Mary. I don't think I have enough of this pale purple. I think I'm going to use a second color too, to do my crosses in. Now, when I get to the corner, I'm going to go through this hole twice. I went from the side, and now I'm going to go from the bottom, so that, come on now, get around the corner, so that it starts out again. Oh, Mary, see, that's you have your fluffy edges on there, so you kind of, this is where I was thinking the fluffy edges might be an issue if you're going to wrap your thread. So having a running stitch sounds like it will work perfect. And this is just part, you know, this is kind of for decoration, just for the fun of it. Yep. Janet, you're gonna spoil my one of my surprises. I'm not gonna tell you what it is, but okay. Janet, shh. Shh. I'm teasing, Janet. Gloria, you know, that's what I actually do. I make glass beads. That's my job. I don't want to say it's a living because, you know, I wouldn't want to have to try to live on it, but that's what I do for my job, as I make glass beads. I used to make a lot more jewelry, but we haven't been doing physical shows, so. Boy, I hope I gave myself enough thread. If I didn't, I'm going to be grumpy. If I didn't, I guess I'm going to have an extra dangle, aren't I, guys? Oh, Janet, don't worry about it. Okay, I missed something. Uh-oh. Okay, come on, chat. Come back here. Oh, I'm making you giggle? Okay. Oh, you're so silly. Oh. Ruby's lost her focal point, guys. Yeah. Give me just a minute and I'll show you guys. Linda, I used to do the big bead shows like Bead and Button and Tucson and all of that, but we were in a wreck with our RV almost 2 years ago now, and we've had issues with the insurance company and issues with they decided they had to fix our motorhome, and it's not really fixable and it's not usable, and it's a long and involved story. But because of it, we don't have a vehicle to travel to those shows because it takes a pretty good sized vehicle for me to tote all that stuff. So I've been selling through Facebook, and if you want to know where, just my email's in my videos. It's not in this one yet because it hasn't uploaded and I haven't fixed the guys, give yourselves just a little bit more thread. I hadn't sort of planned on the wiggle part, and but if you send me an email, Linda, I'll give you links to some of the groups. I sell on Facebook, and I have a fundraising group that I sell of my own. So, okay, so I got lucky and I have just a little bit of extra dangle stuff. I'll be right back. Yep, running on wood floors and in socks is really not a good idea. Totally Junk Journal. Yep, I think it's in the description too, Mary, so that you can copy it. Guys, I make a lot of flowers. Oh, let's get rid of this. It might help for you to see things. I make all kinds of beads, but I make a lot of flowers. That's probably my... And I have a messy table too, so it's hard to see. These are these are big beads. Oh, these are little flowers that are the same as those big flowers. I was trying to find something that was a different color. I just grabbed. They're in bags like this because I'm getting ready to do a show tomorrow. I start tomorrow night. And then I do round beads too. So, there. The big thing is that they're always different. Okay, guys, I'm going to cut more thread this time. So instead of doubling it, I am going to double it and then give myself a little bit extra. Okay. Thank you, Janet, for checking for me. Linda, that's perfect. I will in just a second, Jerry. We'll see if it, you know what, guys? My screen's froze up again. It's just, I'm glad you guys are seeing me without too much trouble. I hope this, I hope the video copy's okay. Okay, let's see here. Let's pick like, okay. Well, good, Jerry. Now let's see here. Wait. No, wrong way. This way. There. I hope that's in focus, guys. It looks like it is. I'll put these big ones in my hand and do the same thing. I can't read chat and do this at the same time, so I'll read chat in just a second, guys. Now these are big and they're thick through. These are an extra large lentil. That gives you an idea price-wise of what that kind of a bead. That's with a pendant bar. And then these are just little. Okay, there's an odd duck in that little bag. Okay, these are just little beads. And these have raised dots on them. Now then, let me read chat here for a second. I'll push those all out of the way. I gotta back up, guys, so give me just a second. Okay, guys, I'll explain what they are. Well, thanks, Jerry. These are all glass, and Jerry asked about the back, and the back, they ruffle. They ruffle to the front so that they're more like flowers. Okay, and they're all glass, guys, and I actually use a torch and melt rods of glass, and I'll grab one of those in just a minute to make these. Now these, Linda, are not real flat, so putting them inside a journal might not work real well unless it would be perfect if you made a window box inside your book. Okay, I do some little flowers that are flatter. I'm just getting some rods out so you can see what the glass looks like. This is what I start with. Okay, wait just a minute. I missed a bunch of chat again. Oh, yes, Jerry, there's a hole in the center. That is how the bead is actually made sideways like this. I'll kind of show you. Okay. This bead is on there. Okay, just a minute. Let me reach out before it goes too far. Linda, Etsy has changed a lot, and it just takes so much time that I sell through Facebook for what I'm doing a lot. Yeah, Jerry, and I actually have a video, Jerry, on how to attach these to make them lay flat. A secret box with a bead in it, yes, and that would be perfect, guys. Yeah, I think a secret box. Anyways, guys, what it is I'm going to have to do a video so y'all can see. I have a torch that sits on the table, and it spits fire out that way. Okay? Then I have these metal rods, and they're called mandrels, and they have, and is this centered where y'all can see? Yeah. They have some clay usually on the end. It's called bead release so that the glass doesn't stick to it. And I don't have anything on there. I actually start by melting these rods of glass and wrapping it around the mandrel until it starts to look like that. Okay, and then I have to shape it, and I shape it with these special tools that I have, and you have to heat and shape and heat and shape and heat and shape. You know, for me it doesn't take that long anymore, but that's because I've been doing it for 20 years now almost. I figured that out the other day. I thought it was about 17, but it's actually closer to 20. Patricia, these particular flowers are $5 a piece, and the bigger ones are $10 a piece. I sell more plain ones for $4 and $8. I sell little beads like this for $3. So that hopefully will answer those questions. Yeah, that's, see, a secret box in your altered book would be perfect. And Linda, the Etsy just got to be where it was not real, honestly, it wasn't real friendly to artists, and it got to where the fees, I couldn't keep my beads the price I wanted them. The way they've made things work for mailing, it's not working very well, and I just quit using Etsy. Now I use Facebook, and it works so much better. Like I said, guys, if you want to get a link to where I'm actually starting a show tomorrow night, and that way you can see what the shows look like, if you'll send me an email or a Facebook message, I will send you the link to the group so that you can see how that works. And Jerry, you know, they are maybe too cheap, but at the same time, I have to look at what I can sell them for and still sell them. You know, sometimes it gets to the point where if you price it at too much, then it doesn't sell, and that's just one of those things. I'm going to start the other direction now, and the thing of it is if you start back the other direction, it should cross over, but my brain is just a little, I've lost my needle in this mess, which is good because I have another one. There it is right there. And Jerry, Selling to bead shops has never worked real well. It's one of those things. Now, what I'll tell you, when we traveled, I used to do trunk shows. Jeffrey's listening to me talk. he finishes my sentences. That's what happens when you've been married for 30-some years. I used to do trunk shows, and therefore I would go into the shop and I would give the shop a portion of the sales. They would run it through their register, but having someone like that in the shop will boost their traffic, sell their supplies for finishing a piece, things like that. And give me a second, I need to read chat before it goes on. Okay, Linda, I'll talk to you tomorrow, and bye. I'm so glad I found you. You found us. I think, Eva, that's a, what is his name? Chihuly piece that's in the Bellagio. I won't guarantee it, but I think it is. Bye, Linda. And I'm so glad you came. Jerry, it just really didn't. I sold to some bead shops, but and when I did, it was really good. But sometimes it's just it just seemed like the shops weren't real interested. Now, Bead and Button worked real well, and Tucson worked real well for me. They had grown and grown and grown and grown, and I lost a tremendous amount of income when I lost those shows. But okay, now guys, I started on this corner first, and now I'm starting over here. The market has also gone down a lot too, Jerry. Bead stores are closing right and left. Thank you, Eva. And that is, you know, and a lot of it, I think a lot of it is that it has gone so much to the internet, and you know, I have to go on with and follow that trend. Now, I don't know, because my one purple is light, but you see by starting over here, it may not X, but it's going to give me a different direction on my thread. So while it's not a blanket stitch, it's sort of a decorative stitch over here. And you know, I used to make all kinds of beads that I don't make anymore because they're much more time consuming, and they're harder to sell. Jerry, selling these for $25 without the pin is sometimes difficult. Just do that. Yes, Chihuly is, I'm sure that's the name that's in the Bellagio. It's a different market, and the other thing is bigger beads, fancier beads are easier to sell when someone can touch them. So, oh, Jerry, I have a question for you. I was in the thrift store yesterday, and they had player piano rolls, but they wanted $5 a piece for them, and I didn't know, I had no idea whether or not that was a good price or not. It seemed like a lot to me because, you know, you don't know how good they are, but I figured you might know. What's going on? Oh, Janet, that's where I sell through Facebook. Um, I have group shows through Facebook. You can do actual online. I actually have my own group, Janet, that I use to fundraise selling beads. Oh, I guess I should have bought them so you could have had them, Jerry. They were $4.99 a piece, and I didn't know, so I was like, eh. Well, I'll check. I have to go back to Milton next week. If they still have them, I may get some of them. Yeah, Laura, that's it. Well, and traffic for art shows is down. Too. It's I may have wished I had found something besides purple thread, but that's okay. But Janet, I do what they call showcases through the groups, and that means that the group that I'm involved in that particular couple of days, I have the wall for myself, so everything I post on the piano rolls, you do, Jerry? Yeah, I know. I knew they were, but I wasn't sure on the price, and I was like, I should have gone ahead and bought them, I guess. I debated. You know, Mary, you said last week about something that if you debate about it, you're sorry if you didn't do it. Well, that's exactly how I feel about those. I debated about them yesterday, and I didn't go ahead and get them, and now I'm going to be sorry I didn't get them. Oh, Mary, I'm glad. Okay, Jerry. I'll let me write myself a note. Message Jerry, well, you know, I was just thinking they'd be so cool in journals. They would just be to die for in journals. But they had something else I debated about. They had some Life magazines, and now I got a Life magazine the other day for a quarter. But they had Life magazine, and they had this odd section this time, and they wanted like $10 for the silly Life magazine, and I was like, I don't think so. It didn't appear to be anything special as far as well, see, that's the thing, Mary. I debated because I didn't have a clue what prices were for them. If I had known that would be a good price, I would have probably gone ahead and gotten them. And they had a whole lot of them. That was the thing. There might have been 20 of them sitting there. So which that's the store I won the $10 gift certificate for, so I get to go back next Saturday. Oh, Patricia, I mean, if you did nothing more than cut them up and put them in pages in your journals would be cool. You can use them for backgrounds. Jerry just said she echo dyes them and rust dyes them. Which that is on my agenda to do. Jerry's rust dye some stuff. I actually have a packet of rust dust from a company that back when I used to, when I sold beads and traveled to shows, I also did knitting, and that knitting convention kinds of things, and shows like that. So a lot of, and quilt shows, because a lot of people use the kinds of beads I have in art quilts. See, that's what Jerry said, Patricia. Just cut them up and use them. You think so, Mary? I don't know. We live in a pretty populated area. It is not like it's not like living in South Dakota, I'll tell you what. How's everybody doing on their envelope pocket? Mary, I'm trying to get away where I can get to everything and not have anything in my house that's technically sort of in storage. Oh, see, I had extra thread that time. I am hiding my fabric. I told you guys this table is huge. Well, there's 12 boxes of fabric under those half of it that I'm sitting at. Lisa, I'm not going to use beads to make my dangles. I'll show you here in a second what I'm going to do for my dangles. Guys, I am going to tie these together up here, like so. Just so my stitches don't come out, and I'm going to cut them about the same length. And then I'm going to see what kind of that looks pretty sturdy. I am going to cut some little circles to mimic my little circles that are on my pages, and I may cut them without bending them. Let's see if I can. How about that? It didn't turn out too bad. And I'm going to glue this one to that one. No, I'm not. Uh-oh. Almost messed up. Well, yeah, but that's true, Mary. But they're kind of antique-y, and you know, people are after antiques. Of course, right now, if you're shopping at the thrift store, a lot of people shopping at our thrift stores are up here because their clothes are gone. And when Jeff and I went out the other day, there was 2 or 3 different people that I heard say that they were shopping for clothes because their house was gone, and all of their clothes had either been ruined or were gone. So what I'm going to do is lay that little string in there like so, and I'm going to glue this one to that one, and I'm probably going to tie a knot in this just to make it. I should have tied the knot first, guys. Here we go, and now I'm going to make some little pin stitching, little pretend stitches around it. Okay, wait a minute. Okay. The rest. Elsie, I started stitching back through here to stitch around to here, and by stitching from this side first and then stitching back from the other side, you end up with sort of a cross-hatch pattern in your stitches. No, Patricia, it doesn't look like junk mail anymore. Mary, the poker chip charms? It's okay. Okay, I'll have to look at it, Mary. I do this kind all the time. And then I'm just gonna like pretend that I stitched around it. And Janet, I haven't forgotten about the sewing machine videos that we talked about. I just haven't got to them. There. So I'm going to do that instead of beads. Jerry, you should see my disaster. And I have beads everywhere now too. I'll have to look. I think this time I'm going to tie the knot in the thread first though. And I need another little piece of paper. I just didn't want anything too heavy inside my journal that would be hard to write over the top of. Now, beads would work, but they're I like to take my flower punches and make little dangles like this. I'll show you what I'm glue. Now, Patricia, we changed the junk mail to not be junk mail. We didn't spend a ton of money. We didn't have a ton of supplies. And we now have something kind of cool to go in our little book. on a glue book page. Okay, well, Mary, I can go back through the videos though. Yeah, Lisa, I use oh, I have a big flower punch and I don't see it here anywhere. But I use circles, I use a flower punch. I've done a lot of these like this because then they're kind of flat. You can also decorate them if you want. You know, the little flower I put on the flat pin, you know, this little flower, I put these on there sometimes too. We'll have to look for your video, Mary, to figure out which one it is. Janet did the poker chip one, so if that's the one you're talking about, it'll be in my, I can link to it. There's 2. I got 2 more to go. Sure you could, Jen. And mini dominoes, anything. The deal was I wasn't thinking about charms or dangles on here when I planned out the page. I was thinking about hiding it. Well, I like the charms better, so that's always a good thing. I need 4 more little circles. Now I'm not using this for next week, am I? Remember, for next week you need 2 pieces of junk mail that are the same size. And like I said, I might use a couple of envelopes. And even if they're not the same size, you can cut them to be the same size. So that will be... You will need your needle and thread again. Needle and heavy thread, your hole punch. Everything that's on our list. Except, you know, you won't have to have these things. These are the things to watch for. Oh yeah, that would be cool, Patricia. And guys, if you could see the number of seed beads I have, you would just fall over. Well, if you've watched my studio tour, I think I opened the drawers a few times. There's 2. I need 2 more little squares. Not the poker chip, okay. Guys, I'm glad you're having fun with this. I really am. Okay. I'm just finishing up. And I'm just going to leave that sit right there for a few minutes so that if anybody wants to... Somebody told me they took a screenshot of that. Let me see what's going on. Okay. Okay, Mary has posted the one that she's talking about, her charms. I don't know, Jerry. You know what map drawers are, right? I have 5 full map drawers, and that's not all of them. I have a map drawer for each size. And I know you used to have a bead store, so you should have quite a few, but... Well, Jerry, thank you. I'm just really sorry that I didn't make either one of... Well, I made one of the Zooms one day. I can't remember how I got home early that day. Okay. Uh-oh. Little circle's off a little bit, but that's okay. I had little pieces of paper everywhere, Jerry. Yours can't be any worse than mine. Put the cap back on your glue stick, guys. Don't forget to do that. Pen. Well, and Jerry, I haven't been playing with your altered book because I had started an altered book beforehand. That, and I've had so many projects going. I've been trying to finish projects before I start a new one, so I need to try to catch up with you. The girls' pages are just fabulous. Mark has been working on an altered book too, and I'm not sure, I haven't seen whether or not he finished it. I think he did. I don't know if he's still here, but Mark, if you're here, could you chime in and tell me if you finished your book? There. Yeah, that's true. Thank you, glue stick. I was like, I laid it down and I'm like, oh, don't do that. Jerry, you're not doing your book live though, are you? Yeah, that would work really well, Janet. As like Janet said, you can make a bead by doing. Well, let's see if I've got anything I can do it with. But if you put corrugated cardboard in between, and then you can run the string down the middle in the valley. Okay, that's what I thought, Jerry. So it's easy to play with Jerry in Jerry's book because of the it's not live, so you can do it in the middle of the night if you're. So there is my second installment on our Totally Junk Journal, and like I said, I've cut up the. For those of you that weren't here right in the beginning, I'll do another envelope so you can see. Let me find one. Okay. There's one. These plain white envelopes make, well, that one's not plain white, but that's okay. They give you a lot of writing page, and I just, okay, can you see with all this mess on my table? I just take my scissors and cut off about a 1/16 of an inch right here. Like so. And that gives me a page so that I can put pages into my journal to write on. So this, and I doubt I'll put 3 in a row like that, but this is now we have a pocket to put things in. And we can put in tags. We could put in folded up envelopes. We could take an envelope and fold it and write on it. So yeah, Mary's page is going to be bright and shiny. So let's see. I think I've told you everything. I hope everybody had fun. I think you did. Next week we need 2 pieces that are the same size. And like I said, I may get 2 envelopes and cut them to be the same size. And use them. If I do, I'll cut them on camera so that you guys can see exactly how I do it. Or 2 smaller pieces, whatever you want. 2 pieces of junk mail the same size. Oh, I'm glad you guys had fun. I just really am. I missed Eva's comment. Where do we go? Oh yeah, the sunglasses. Eva's comment was the sunglasses. So I'm really pleased with how this is coming out. You know, I made plans. I had plans, but a plan and making things ahead of time is 2 different things. That's one of the things that I have learned. So I'm real excited by it. It's cool, and I like these little dangles. They're fun. So, anyways, guys, I think. Oh, if there's anybody here that hasn't seen, we're doing a napkin swap. It's not due until January 4th, so you've got lots of time. There is a video all about it. And I think everybody here now knows that I have a new Facebook group, and that if you want to show off your projects or visit with us on the Facebook group or play with you do not have to be part of the Facebook group to do the napkin swap. I didn't want to do that since it's a centralized swap. It's okay that you didn't do that. I told you all the things for next time. So I guess that, yes, please do post your pictures. I want to see everybody's pockets. And since Elizabeth Brewer, and if you guys haven't watched her channel, she is so fun to watch. I love watching her. She always reads an inspirational quote at the end of her videos, and I wanted to use something a little bit different but do something similar. So Elizabeth, if you're still here, thank you very much for this lovely idea of having a quote at the end of your videos. This is a book called 1001 Ways to Creativity, and I've been reading one of these every time we do this. Oh, I don't think I have read this one yet. Sometimes I forget. It says, although you always have to leave your comfort zone in order to be creative, in the end, creativity will leave you feeling truly in harmony with yourself for the first time. I'm going to read that again. Although you always have to leave your comfort zone in order to be creative, in the end, creativity will leave you feeling truly in harmony with yourself for the first time. And guys, I'm so glad you came, and I'm so glad you had fun, and I really appreciate it, and I love you all. I hope you have a great rest of the evening. I'm going to go. Oh, I don't even have to cook. We have leftovers, so I'm going to go. I'm probably going to clean up this mess so that I can work on Nick's challenge journal. So I will see y'all next Sunday. I wanted to be on live during the week last week, and so that I could work on my Mary's faces, because I haven't worked on my Mary's faces in 2 months. So I hope to do that sometime this weekend. If I do, I'll probably do it live, maybe in an afternoon, but we'll see. Oh, Jerry's going to make meatloaf. What else is everybody else going to have? Good dinners too? We're just going to have red beans and rice. I'm just reading chat, guys. I'm sorry. Okay, guys. I love you all. Have a great afternoon. Bye-bye.